Let me show you how to mount a flat screen TV on an exterior wall, and more specifically, how do we power this without using extension cords dangling across our property or dangling across a room. Now I have an unfinished walkout basement here, so wide open studs that I can reference my marks from the outside, knowing where to drill by to locate the stud. With this location hole through the stucco, now I can measure over 3/4 of an inch or half the width of a stud and drill my hole through the stucco as large as the lag screw. Then a smaller drill bit for a pilot hole for the lag, get my mounting bracket and sink my first lag with my impact driver, tightening that up so then we can check with the torpedo level to make sure everything's level before locating the other 3 mounting holes. And now we have our 3 other holes that will drill our larger hole with our hammer drill, and this is a rotary hammer drill, so it makes quick work of those holes. And then the smaller drill bit to give the pilot holes to the lags before we sink them. So loosen up the one lag, tighten that back up, and start to sink our second one. But before we tighten everything up, let's check that level one more time. Once it looks good, then we'll tighten up our 2 before setting our 3rd and our 4th lag, with this being our finished result. So now moving on, I'm drilling from the inside again with my rotary hammer drill. This is a little dangerous. The rotary hammer drill, you can have blowouts very easily like that. Now we'll try to account for that with repositioning the box a little bit and the cover. We'll see how we do by the time we get done with the project. So I'm just marking around that Southwire box that I'm gonna use, and then I'm gonna use my angle grinder here with a masonry blade, and you'll see me coming in with an oscillating tool as well. Now once you have it sized correctly, now I'll go ahead and tap my Southwire box in, and I did swap out the standard Phillips head screws for some better general purpose with a T25 torque bit. And I'll use my Klein Tools ET310. This is nice because it actually helps you find the circuit breakers at your panels. You can plug in the outlet portion of that and it'll test your outlet. So I'd plug that in here. I can go over to the panel and it'll start increasing the frequency of the beep when I get close to the breaker. So it's just much easier to find that breaker to turn off. We'll remove our old 15 amp outlet here. Here's the new Romex we brought in, and this is 14 gauge because it's a 15 amp circuit. I'll cut it to length, and then I'll use a Wago 221 lever nut to pigtail my ground, and I'll put a little J hook in it. Now I'll just keep my neutrals and my hots. Neutrals are white, hots are black. Those will be straight. It's because I'm using the back wire feature. This is not backstabbing, which is what that outlet we removed was using. This is called back wiring, and it's available on most commercial grade outlets. Tuck everything back in. Now bringing that new Romex 14 gauge back up, and also wheel secure again to the stud here. And then going on the outside after putting in our insulation, because the wiring on the inside is all done. Cutting into length, you want at least 3 inches out past the edge of your box, and then we'll strip those all out. Again, holding them straight because I'm gonna use a pretty sweet Leviton GFCI, which is also weather rated and tamper resistant. We'll pigtail that ground and everything goes straight in, and it just uses levers. Actually, there are no screw terminals to tighten up, which make these very, very convenient to use for DIYers, and I highly recommend. Now this cover is an in-use cover. So we'll tighten down those mounting screws, which also tightens down this cover. And it has a little gasket there where you can keep a plug plugged in, and it has the clearance with the wire coming out the side. So hopefully that helped you out on your own project, and let me know down in the comments if you have any questions. I'd be happy to help you out.